Teresa. Hi, Teresa! The newest member of the WZRD Radio Patreon, whose support lets me do this episode. Who's ready to celebrate Halloween? Muggle Snuggle is, and they're here to get the party started. What better way to do that than with some music? Here's Mopey Moreau with Under the Stairs.
One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4. Their words are sticks, their lies are stones. You wish they'd leave you well enough alone. You've learned to take it, but you can't help wondering when it's gonna stop. You tell the spiders in your cupboard that you do not care, but I know better, 'cause I've been there under the stairs, trampled underfoot. Neglected and forgotten, feeling rotten and like nothing good could ever happen. But Harry, don't despair, for change is in the air. A correspondence on its way to you, addressed under the stairs. Your Uncle Dursley seems in such an awful hurry to get you and his whole family out, so you can find out what it's all about. Those crazy owls dropping letters by the dozens at your door. I'll say to Harry, kinda scary, you're not hidden anymore. Under the stairs, trampled underfoot, you feel forgotten and so rotten. Yeah, like nothing good could ever happen. But Harry, all that's changed. Someone out there knows your name. They knew somehow that you've been waiting there underneath the stairs, counting down the seconds till another birthday. Really, just how much could 1 year change? Harry, you're a wizard, is what the stranger says. But what it sounds like when it hits your ears is I'm finally gonna make it out of here. Under the stairs, you don't have to hide away. I see you grinning, head is spinning. Your adventures are all just beginning. It won't be easy, but it's worth it, you will see. Magic awaits you if you dare to come out from under there. You will never again have to live under the stairs. Oh, 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 oh. Nobody should ever have to live under the stairs, under the stairs. Nobody should ever have to live under the stairs, under the stairs.
1, 2, 3, Well, it wasn't my fault. No, it wasn't my fault. You might have thought that I'm to blame, but I am not. On every issue I'm a waffle. I pass that buck like it's a quaffle. But if you let that quaffle drop, well, it wasn't my fault. The school was under an attack by something that was hard to catch, and all the kids were looking pretty stiff. So we sent Hagrid off to jail. We thought that plan could never fail, but then it turns out he was innocent. But it was wasn't my fault. No, it wasn't my fault. You might have thought that I'm to blame, but I am not. On every issue I'm a waffle. I pass that buck like it's a quaffle. But if you let that quaffle drop, well, it wasn't my fault. Out on the hunt for Sirius Black, we chased him down to the Shrieking Shack. All was well, and Snape had saved the day. We had him cornered fair and square, but we turned our back and he disappeared, 'cause he hopped on a hippogriff and he got away. But it wasn't my fault. No, it wasn't my fault. You might have thought that I'm to blame, but I am not. On every issue I'm a waffle. I pass that buck like it's a quaffle. But if you let that quaffle drop, well, it wasn't my fault. The Potter kid came out of the maze. It looked like he was in a daze. He claimed he saw the Dark Lord had returned. I tried to calm him down, but he wouldn't be quiet. If this gets out, it's gonna start a riot. Might have to throw him out just to be sure. But it wasn't my fault. No, it wasn't my fault. You might have thought that I'm to blame, but I am not. On every issue I'm a waffle. I pass that buck like it's a quaffle. But if you let that quaffle drop, well, it wasn't my fault. We sent Umbridge to shut it down, but Potter and his friends, they stood their ground. They kept insisting you-know-who was back. One night at the Ministry there was a fight, and that's when the truth all came to light. When you-know-who and the Death Eaters mounted an attack. And also we were wrong about
Sirius Black.
But it wasn't my fault. No, it wasn't my fault. You might have thought that I'm to blame, but I am not. On every issue I'm a waffle. I pass that buck like it's a quaffle. But if you let that quaffle drop, well, it wasn't my fault. Not me, not me. Not me, not me. Not me, not me. Oh, no, no, not me. Not me, not me.
Chocolate frog, where are you jumping to? Chocolate frog, get in my mouth.
Only tout en bleu, vous aurez
was Mopey Merope with Under the Stairs, Dreamquaffle singing Fickle Fudge, Slither Spouse with Chocolate Frog, and Muggle Snuggle with Allez les Bleus, Beaubaton au ciel. Without further ado, let's get the interview started. And welcome to the show, Amanda and Caitlin. I am very happy to have you guys.
We're excited to be
Yeah,
here.
very excited. I'm a big fan of WZRD Radio Pod.
Oh no, I don't know what to do when people say that.
Thank you and move on.
But y'all were actually invaluable at the beginning because you were the ones that started the giveaway codes.
Yeah, that was a fun accident actually. Because I was like, oh gosh, what am I going to do with like 8,300 of these? They just give you a crazy amount, and I don't know why.
And yet I keep paying for music.
That's
I
a
have
true
a-
story.
True
When
story.
Kate forgets the password, she just rebuys our music so she can listen to it.
It's true. It's true.
happened 4 times.
You know, you got to support yourself in your business.
It's true. Without our Wizard Rockers, we wouldn't be here. It gets recursive, though, when it's you buying your own over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, it looks nice for the analysis,
Sure.
the analytics of,
Yeah.
oh, we had sales this month.
200% more than last month.
Yeah.
So, speaking of beginnings, what was Muggle Snuggles?
Muggle Snuggles beginning. So I was a Harry Potter nerd, and we were friends in choir.
We met in
We met-
Renaissance City Choir.
The RCC. And I was like, oh, you haven't read this? And you're like, you were not into it at first. And I was like, if you do, I will throw you parties. I will make it worth your while. I was like, you should read this series.
Yeah, so I did. And then I was like, did you also know that there's Wizard Rock?
And I did not know that because I was just all books. But after you started reading it, I'm a big hugger, so I would like come in and give you a big old hug. And that's where I think we started saying like Muggle Snuggle.
Yes.
And then we're like, that should be our band name. I think we had performed in another group of gals. We had performed, but we like could never settle on a band name.
Mm-hmm.
And so this though, we didn't even have a song yet. And we're like, we know what our band name would be.
Yeah, it was just for fun.
Yeah.
And then it became
More.
very for serious for fun.
It did, because we are serious people. So we're like, let's have fun in a structured, organized way.
Yes.
We originally were playing with some of our other friends,
Mhm.
and then we wrote Night Bus. And after that, we're like, we should perform it at one of the Art All Night, I think it was,
Mhm.
performance.
Mhm.
And so we performed our first song as Muggle Snuggle,
We did.
a one-hit wonder.
Wow, I forgot that was the first time.
Yeah.
The second time I think was just at an open mic.
Yeah, there was an open mic, I think, in Lawrenceville, in Pittsburgh.
Mhm.
Yeah, we performed. And
Yeah.
that's when I lost my tuner for my Bowrun the first time.
Oh, I didn't
Second
remember that.
concert.
Oh.
Lost a tuner. But yeah, we started performing. I do have to say, though, the reason we started making music together before we became Muggle Snuggle was I said I bought a drum. I bought a hand drum.
Mhm. Then I said, oh, we're all going to be playing music. And then I said, oh, since you play drum, you should come. She's like, I bought a drum. And I was like, oh, you play drum? Great.
And then I was so nervous. I was like, okay, I need to learn how to play this drum. I'm just gonna be a drummer now.
Yep.
And that's kind of how I've fallen into all the instruments that we
Mhm.
play.
So, you said you're very into structured fun, but that sounded pretty spontaneous.
You know what? You're right.
Probably.
I think over time we learned that we flourished with some structure within our playing, but it started out as a spontaneous ask. And you had been performing with some other friends and writing music together for a while.
Hmm. Yeah, I wrote my own and performed, and we would perform.
Well, that's where I
Each other's
started buying music online, because I bought all of your
She's-
music.
She's my biggest fan. Has bought every single one of my albums.
She's
It's
really
very
amazing.
sweet.
And I couldn't believe that you would
Thank
let
you.
me play this drum I bought with you.
It's because you played drum, and I do not.
I think I really, really appreciated your music and your musicality, and I was so nervous to play with you guys. And then we broke off and became our own thing
Mhm.
because we worked really well together.
Yeah, we were consistent, and we wanted it to work, so we made it work.
Yes, yeah. Wow. Yeah, those are origin
Wow.
tales.
So, how did you learn about rock? You said Amanda was first.
I do remember, I don't know, it was 2008 or so, and I know Harry and the Potters were in Pittsburgh, and I didn't go to it, but I knew they existed. So I knew it existed a very long time ago, but I just never pursued listening to it. But then, of course, when I wanted to listen to it, I hadn't read all the books yet, and I started to listen to some, and then I was like, oh, I don't know what this is about, and I don't want to be spoiled.
Yeah,
so then
spoilers.
I couldn't listen to it, so I had to wait a really long time. But I also had to wait between books to have parties because that was the promise. So
Yes, so there's a lot of waiting for you. It was hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait. I maybe had heard of Harry and the Potters, but like I actually still to this day do not listen to a lot of Wizard Rock. I enjoy what we do, and I enjoy what you bring into. You're like, hey, listen to this, but I don't seek it out myself because I trust Amanda's curation of music. So you're my you're my liaison into the rock world.
Tell me more about these parties. They were rewards for reading the books?
I guess if you want to think of it that way, yeah, that's the adult way. Structured fun, I guess. Bringing it back.
I really like creating.
She's so good.
And I grew up where my parents went all out for parties all the time, especially around birthdays. And it was fall, so it was getting closer to your birthday.
That's true.
It was like fall of RCC, fall that year, and it was also around Halloween stuff. And I had a lot of witchy things, and I enjoyed making a theme party with food for each of the different books. And I just really wanted to play, and so we started having parties.
Yeah, we'd have the parties, and we would also watch movies.
Watch the movie. Yeah, because it would be your
see
first
them.
time watching any of the Harry Potter movies after reading the book.
Yeah, so I think what you would do is you would throw a party themed to the Scream.
Oh, yeah. It was basically Rocky Horror, but for Harry Potter. Because we had both been Rocky Horror fans, and we talked about, like, going to where, like, you know, you scream out things at different times, and so it kind of happened that I was like, oh, and at this point, I will pull out a wand for you, because it's the wand choosing, so here's your wand. Oh, yeah, and then for the second movie watch, I picked you up.
And I tried to participate in that one, and I think I wanted to have, like, Death Day party foods, and it didn't have anything in there at all, and I was so disappointed.
Yeah, and I knew that you would be disappointed because the books were better than the movie as far as detail.
Cheese.
I know, you were so excited, but we were just immersing ourselves in enjoying the book in our own space.
Before I hit record, you mentioned that you needed a cathedral to house all of your instruments, which is perfect because my patrons want to know, how many do you play? Both of you.
I guess I would break it down into what I'm going to call instrument houses.
Yes.
So my first instrument that I actually had to learn with sheet music was saxophone. I learned on alto, but currently have a bari and a soprano. And those are the ones that you don't play, but you played clarinet.
I did. I grew up playing the clarinet.
So we have that, our reed friends.
The reed house.
And then flutes of some sorts.
I am not in the flute family. But
you're
you
able
are.
to play it.
I can make a sound.
Yes. So we can do those, penny whistles. I also have a new hulusi, which is a Chinese gourd flute, which is fun, kind of bagpipey. I've decided that that's what the Grindylow sounds like.
Oh.
Yeah. And then we both play things in the zither family. So we're both auto harp. You can play kantala if you wanted to.
I pluck the strings when you tell me to pluck the strings.
Yeah. You have a harp now, so you can play harp.
My uncle just gave me a harp, so now I'm a harpist, according to Miranda.
Correct.
Yes.
So we both can play a harp.
Yeah.
And then we both know how to play guitar, but we both do not like it.
No.
And we have percussion in common as well.
I have small hands. The guitar's very hard.
It is.
And then the percussion family.
Yeah, anything percussive. So I'm going to say, 7 or 8 categories or so, but
with a couple instruments in each one.
Yeah. But I personally own more than 30.
Yeah. So you play more than 30 instruments.
I do, but not. I have a trumpet and I don't know how to play it yet. So
okay, so you're
brass
not
is my hard stop.
Okay, so you're not counting those as ones that you. So
But I always equate instruments to languages because I was a language learner as well. So, I can kind of play this, kind of play this. I can kind of speak some words here and speak some words in that language too. So it's kind of the same thing for me where, if you understand the concept of learning one, then it's easy to learn other ones.
Caitlin, did you want to list, or are you happy with everything Amanda just said?
for me, instruments were always really hard. Like, my family's very musical and I would sing, but I always struggled with instruments. I started on the clarinet, but chorus, was more important to me. So I ended up moving towards that. And then my uncle gave me a guitar and I would tune the guitar all the time. I knew how to tune it, but actually playing it was very hard for my hands to fit around the neck. And so I just felt like I kept failing at instruments. And when we were just beginning to be friends and I bought myself this drum, I was like, you know what, I'm going to try drum because I really love Irish music. And so I wanted to play the bodhrán around, like, my grandmother's 100% Irish. And so we go to big Irish festivals every year. And so I wanted to be able to play the drum when we were out at a festival or at the pub, especially around St. Patrick's Day. And so that was the goal. So I had just bought a drum and then became a drummer and then ended up tap dancing. So that's the other thing that I do in the percussive family. So I started with the bodhrán drum and tap dancing since I'm a dancer, which is why I think that I don't listen to a lot of music, because music is work for me in my day-to-day life. So I listen to books as an escape, like listening to music. I'm always choreographing. So it's, I think, I think that's why I don't go out and listen to music for my entertainment, because there's so much music for work. But tapping and the bodhrán were my instruments that I was kind of playing with whenever we first started to become friends. And then you gave me an auto harp, and auto harp, all of a sudden it was an instrument that came to me quickly. And I felt like all of a sudden I went from just singing with you to playing with you. And it was very exciting. So I'm an adult learner of instruments. It didn't come to me early. I kept trying and failing. So I failed a lot of instruments before I came to the family of auto harp and percussion.
Yeah, I failed at guitar too. I stunted my writing, I think, by trying to write music on guitar because it just wasn't the thing for me.
Yeah.
And I didn't know,
Yeah. No, I tried too. I will play the same song on guitar. Like, there's only one song.
I know the song.
You know my song, right? Like, I pick up a guitar, I play my one song, and I put it back down because that's all I know how to do. But on things like with the drum and with auto harp, all of a sudden I started to compose as well. And that was really freeing to find something that I felt like I could start playing with sound and building different structures with.
That's really interesting, especially because so much of Wizard Rock is singer-songwriter on a guitar.
Yeah.
Or punk rock with electric guitar.
Right.
And we're two gals who failed at guitar and found music elsewhere.
Yeah.
I think that's part of what makes y'all so interesting and unique and exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I like all the odd things, the land of the misfit toys sort of thing. So.
Yes. And I think I always loved accordion growing up in the 90s, loving Weird Al. I loved the sound of it, as well as I had an aunt who was blind and played her accordion, and she just had so much music and you could see it when she played it that, whenever I met someone my age who played accordion, I was like, oh! And that's why I bought all your music, because I just wanted to listen to you play. And we joked because we didn't feel comfortable at open mic nights because of all the guys with guitar there. We're like, all right, let's bring in our 20 instruments and see.
They're like, oh, you can go downstairs to tune. I'm like, I don't need to tune.
Or you have to tune like every peg on the auto harp, all 32 strings or
120,
whatever.
Oh, auto harp, sorry.
Yeah.
36.
30 some. That's a lot of strings to tune.
So when you go to open mic nights or whatever, which of your songs is the most fun to play? What do you get the most joy out of? What gets the best audience reaction?
I mean, we don't play open mic anymore.
Yeah, because we learned that early on that we didn't jive with like the general populace, that we liked going to our niche places, like going to a Potter venue, going to a Wizard festival. That's where people would appreciate our music.
Let's say on the count of 3 what songs we think
Oh,
are the
God.
most fun to play
Okay.
at festivals.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Night Bus.
Weasley's Wizards. I was just ready for the first
One.
1, 2, 3. Weasley's Wizards. Weasley's.
Yes, that one.
And then 1, 2, 3.
Mad Eye. Okay.
Okay. And those are all accordion. So
Yep,
I
yep.
just had this feeling that we had the same
Same
the ones.
Yeah, I love those ones. Because Night Bus is our oldest song, and there was just a magic when we wrote that one. Other songs we've grown out of, but Night Bus has stuck with us.
Mhm. I mean, it's kind of like dramatic, theatrical,
Yeah.
and I think that's where we have the most fun is when we get to actually, like, you know, kind of play with the crowd and not be so serious with our music, and, you know, it kind of breaks things up too.
Yeah.
It feels more like it's a long musical as opposed to, you know, just playing a series of
Oh
songs.
yeah, and our early songs were all like 1 minute each. We like wrote really quick ones, and then like Night Bus, I felt like had its own timing, especially with the speaking in between, because we have a couple songs that we have little monologue pieces in with our music. So
Yeah.
Night Bus has that, like you said, play.
Mhm.
I like Wheezes Wizard Wheezes. I think that's one of the first songs I played more than once on the show.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's funny because that's not even an original for us because that's based on the clarinet polka.
Again, this is how we differ, is that a lot of Wizard Rock bands I find play covers or
New parodies.
do parodies,
Mhm.
thank you. But you really love to compose, and
Mhm.
we'll take a section from a classical piece and then morph it so much so that it becomes our own piece. We even feel guilty when we're like, oh, we took like 5 notes from this orchestral composition. Like, we're cheating.
Yeah, covers are fun though, and
Oh, yeah.
parodies are fun too.
Yeah, I think you had done that in other places, that here we wanted to play with the idea of composing
Mhm.
and doing something a little different.
Amanda, do you do most or all of the composing? Or Caitlin, do you write some as well?
Well, the past year and a half, I would say for sure, I
Mhm.
do all of it. But that's mostly because, you know, Caitlin just had a child. So
Yeah,
it
you
was
know,
a little bit harder for her to...
It's been a
to
little busy for me, you
yeah,
know,
and physically not being able to be together is...
was so hard.
Yeah, I'm not able to compose songs with you
Uh-huh.
when we're apart. So then, you know, it just makes it a little bit harder because the way that I compose is a bit... what's the word I want? I can't even think of the word. Evolving and...
My wife has said there's a magic, you know, that
Mhm.
happens between us. Like, you will usually come up with this beautiful egg of an idea, and you'll bring it to me, and then we'll like play with it until it grows into something. Different albums had different, you know, amount of... I've had much more hands-on earlier in our music, and I've had to become a bit more hands-off more
Yeah,
recently.
and I think it's a lot harder too because some of the things that I'm doing, I get so much time to compose them that it turns out being, you know, a little more than just our quick 1-minute songs. The one that we just had on the sampler was a big task because that was in French, and
Yeah.
then it was a different style, and we did all the verses differently, so it was a lot of learning. So we
Oh,
really spent a lot
yeah.
of time learning that one because, again, another one of those that I compose by myself, so it gets a little too much in Amanda land. So.
Oh no, I so it's not just the composing though, it's then the teaching, and like teaching, and for me to like get to, you know, what do you want out of me? Like, sometimes it's not just black and white, but then it takes time with us together, and sometimes I find my part, and sometimes you're like, fine, just sing my part, and I'm like, okay. Like, you know, sometimes we have to switch, you know, what you had originally thought I would sing, and
Mhm.
you're wonderfully adaptive that way, which is awesome.
Nice. You are as well.
This seems like a good place to put some more music. Here's Daniel Kelly with I Wish I Was a Gryffindor.
Oh, Harry's gone to Hogwarts to be a Gryffindor. Harry's gone away to be a Gryffindor. Yes, Harry's gone to Hogwarts to be a Gryffindor. Harry's gone away to be a Gryffindor. Pretty work, wave wands, pretty work, I say. Harry's gone away to be a Gryffindor. Pretty work, wave wands, pretty work, I say. Harry's gone away to be a Gryffindor. Oh, if I were a Hufflepuff and not a Gryffindor. Harry's gone away to be a Gryffindor. I'd have to wear a yellow hat and work my fingers raw. Harry's gone away to be a Gryffindor. Pretty work, wave wands, pretty work, I say. Harry's gone away to be a Gryffindor. Pretty work, wave wands, pretty work, I say. Harry's gone away to be a Gryffindor. How if I were a Ravenclaw and not a Gryffindor? Woo! Harry's gone away to be a Gryffindor. I'd be the smartest student there ever was before. Woo! Harry's gone away to be a Gryffindor. Pretty work, wave wands, pretty work, I say. Harry's gone away to be a Gryffindor. Pretty work, wave wands, pretty work, I say. Harry's gone away to be a Gryffindor. How if I were a Slytherin and not a Gryffindor? Woo! Harry's gone away to be a Gryffindor. I'd sneak and cheat and steal so that I always got more. Woo! Harry's gone away to be a Gryffindor. Pretty work, wave wands, pretty work, I say. Harry's gone away to be a Gryffindor. Pretty work, wave wands, pretty work, I say. Harry's gone away to be a Gryffindor.
We are self-governed, reject authority of JKR and the WB. Protect each other from these new enemies. This is fandom autonomy. We are self-governed, reject authority of JKR and the WB. Protect each other from these new enemies. This is fandom autonomy. Welcome to the fandom autonomous zone, where we can make this story all our own. Without the creator, we're finally free. So come on, you sing with me. We are self-governed, reject authority of JKR and the WB. Protect each other from these new enemies. This is fandom autonomy. You are valid, yes we believe. We fight for your rights, we'll never leave. We're building a future, welcome home. The fandom autonomous zone. We are self-governed, reject authority of JKR and the WB. Protect each other from these our enemies. This is fandom autonomy. The story was never perfect, and neither was she. Let's elevate creative voices and let the fandom be free. Oh, let the fandom be free. Oh, let us all be free. We are self-governed, reject authority of JKR and the WB. Protect each other from these new enemies. This is fandom autonomy. Fandom autonomy. This is fandom autonomy.
Whether we're standing at death's of the grounds there was butterbeer, and the burrow there was the tent where we hid deep in the wild. Oh, this is a beautiful place to be with friends. Oh, this is a beautiful place to be with friends. Well, we traveled and we grew up and we broke one another's hearts. And I boasted of my talents, and I thought I could do it alone. But this is a beautiful place to be with friends. Oh, this is a beautiful place to be with friends. And this is a beautiful place to be with friends. And this is a beautiful place to be with friends. And this is a beautiful place to be with friends. This is a beautiful place to be This is a beautiful place to be with friends. Oh, this is a beautiful place to be with friends.
That was I Wish I Was a Gryffindor by Daniel Kelly, Fandom Autonomous Zone by Tonks and the R's, and Corbad's A Beautiful Place. I Wish I Was a Gryffindor was a special request from WZRD's dreamiest patron, Jeff. He dedicates it to Creepy Crisis, saying, "So long and thanks for all the fish." Now let's get back to Muggle Snuggle. Now, when I was putting together this interview, I heard a rumor that one of you doesn't actually speak French, even though at least one of your songs has been in French. And I would love to know how?
Well, do you want to talk about that?
Bah non, vas-y.
Oh, oui. So Amanda is multilingual.
That's my thing.
That's your thing.
C'est mon truc.
Yeah.
So I speak fluently, but Kaylin had passing to go to France.
Yeah.
Abilities.
I studied in high school and in college and have been to France about 3 times. My wife and I got married in Paris. So I have passing knowledge.
Tourist French.
Yeah, tourist French. But I also was classically trained musically. In high school and college, I was always in choirs where we sang in Mandarin and Russian and Latin. And I grew up in the church being a cantor, singing in Latin all the time. And so working with phonetic pronunciation,
Yeah.
is that the right way to say that?
Mhm.
For me, I am much more an oral learner. I have a harder time reading sometimes. And so when I listen to something, I can hear it, and she's wonderful at correcting and helping me to change my sound to try to have a better pronunciation.
Yeah, she's a really good parrot.
I'm a parrot.
I mean, if you want to make her a bird, you're a parrot, just you have that ear and you can just, that's why it's easy for you to learn songs too.
Yeah, I can learn anything in a song.
Yeah.
I am not a fluent French. I'm a passing French speaker.
I used to be a lot better when I lived there, but I can still do it now. But it's funny too, because I can write in French and sing in French, but I don't like to sing in French, which is, I don't
Interesting.
know, but it's what I can write.
And you've written a couple Muggle
I
Snuggle
know.
songs. It's because you like Bobaton.
It's just because, there was stuff that was
There's
was
stuff that
there.
needed to be said.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
There were things that needed to come through you.
So does that mean that there's potential for Muggle Snuggle music in other languages?
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
so what we're doing now is going to take a little bit longer because we're, kind of doing songs on the fourth book. And we have so many of them, but I was like, we never got to this or this or this. I know that's your favorite, Bess, the fourth book. So we just have so many songs and, now that we can go back and critique everything even more, I just want to go back and just really, really give it to her, And so our next one after that, though, when we do book 5, is
you
gonna be a
already
lot of
have written
Latin.
so much. And
I do have stuff written already, and I did write some things in Latin, and I don't speak Latin. I don't even know how to do it. It's fake Latin.
You had a friend translate Pumpkin Juice for Breakfast. That all of a sudden we were singing that one in Spanish in concert.
Yeah, I also have it in Punjabi, but
Yeah, that
this
one was tough.
It's so hard to learn. I don't know.
We've tried that one. And you've written songs outside of Muggle Snuggle in many different languages. And your current Mermanda project, have you done anything else or is it all English?
There's a little bit in French again. Oh well.
You're like, it just keeps happening.
So for the Book 4 album, is there anything maybe in Bulgarian or about the world's best ship, maybe?
We have never recorded the song Crumb, which was just one that we were doing live. It was one of those songs that we just came up with by improv. Yeah. Then we kind of expanded on it, and then we kind of rewrote some things. And then so when I went back through it, I decided there's a lot of world music influence on this so far too.
Oh, and all the dragon pieces.
Yeah, because we have dragons and, there's like Hungarian horntails. So there's a Hungarian influence in the song, and then the Chinese fireball, and there's some guzheng in there. But for the Crumb one, I definitely reference some Bulgarian marches. So there's some kind of Bulgarian march-esque sorts of sounds in it now. But yeah, not in the language because I don't know any. Oh wait, we count to 4.
Yeah.
That's what we've got.
You're like, there's none, but a little bit.
4 words.
When you started, when you were doing the open mics and putting together your first songs and uncovering new instruments, is there something that you learned or figured out that might be useful for people getting started in Wizard Rock now?
We have a list, so quick, get your quills. Sure, yeah. Do you want to read this first one? This one says, approach the band as a professional relationship.
Oh, know when to say no. Yeah, so we talked a lot about what our expectations were when we came to our band. I think we had both been burned in other places, and we really respected each other as friends and entered into this as a relationship, as a partnership in business.
Yeah. Our motto when we started was, once it's not fun anymore,
it's done.
And there were times this year when it was not fun.
Yeah, and so we had to say, hey, this is not okay. Because we had signed a contract, agreed to this thing or that thing. But we learned that trying to do things socially distant from our other houses digitally, it just wasn't right for the music for us. It became not fun. We were both crying in our homes, being just upset. And that's not what Muggle Snuggle was about. And finding the courage to talk to each other and say, hey, I wasn't okay with this. Yeah. And being able to say no to venues or things or people that you're not comfortable with is important in setting up your band.
Yeah. The next one is, don't trust people who will, scare quotes, let you play for exposure.
Yes.
Or, that will say, oh, do you want to play this show for free? You can busk outside in this 95-degree weather. No thanks.
Yeah. And we did it, but you don't have to.
We didn't do that one.
Oh, no. Oh, the busking, no.
Write out show notes in your set list. So, you can write out your thank yous, do your shout outs. Don't forget to mention that you have merch. Another one, you might need to make adjustments on your instrumentation. So since we are more of an acoustic duo, we've had so many microphone puzzles that we've had to put together with making sure that we get both sides of the accordion mic'd. And then also I need a microphone, when I'm standing, and then sometimes I have to sit to play accordion, and so I need a mic close to me when I'm sitting.
And if I'm tapping, having a floor mic or paying attention to what did they put us on a carpet or can we be on something else, so like there's a lot of puzzle pieces. Yeah. So giving yourself time to talk about and to know what the sound is going to be like.
Yeah. I've added pickups, but sometimes those don't work. So you have to, kind of figure out
where the stopping spot is, like how long will you try, and then
and also that I think for us being acoustic, we're not really appropriate to be in every venue, and that's okay.
That's okay.
This is what kind of band we are. We're just we're not a fill a stadium yet. So I have one about taking up space.
Oh
yeah,
say more.
I came to a realization recently. Like we were saying, like how all of our songs used to be really short. I think it was like some weird psychological thing that was just like, I need to say what I need to say and get it over with, instead of like singing a chorus the second time or a third time. I just didn't
taking
feel
up time and space.
Yeah, so I just think that's kind of neat.
And so telling people, like, feel free to take up space.
Yeah. And with Wizard Rock as well, like,
yeah.
We were saying like we don't really fit into the open mic scene so much, but we still did it when it was fun for us. But, after a while it was like, oh, we're not being paid for this, so never mind. But yeah, don't be afraid to be paid for things and, take up space, take up money, take up time.
Yes.
I think that's it.
You're like, page dropped.
It's true.
You came so prepared. That was amazing.
Thanks.
That's being in a band with a Ravenclaw. I mean, Mermanda's the best. I just have to say, you
stop.
I'm not gonna stop. I would like to take this opportunity to say what an amazing artist you are and what an amazing partner you are to have in music.
You're an amazing bandmate as well. And yeah, she's really the only person I felt comfortable composing with, and it's magic. It really is magic.
It is magic. Music magic.
So was that shout out written into your show notes for today or spontaneous?
So I'm the more spontaneous side, if you haven't figured that out yet. Amanda is usually planned, and then I throw a wrench in it by not paying attention.
Well, Gryffindors, what are you going to do?
That's where I think I lean more Gryffindor than Hufflepuff, because if I was a bit more dependable, I would be on point with you. I'd just bring a sense of, wonder and anxiety.
And dread.
And dread.
No, none of that. Joy. Spontaneity and confidence.
Boldly in the wrong direction.
We did touch on this a little bit earlier, fairly extensively, but what are you working on now?
Oh, yeah. So we do have, our fourth full length. This one's called The Couplets of Fire. And so in between all of the songs, we have poetry to make it couplets, I kind of wanted to take it a step further and make music behind it, but I'm mostly taking just kind of folk songs and then just kind of playing music behind the poems. So those are fun, just kind of fun little in-between tracks. And I don't know, it's up to so many songs now. And then plus with all those couplets, it's going to be like a, 26 track sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which is why I would like a part 2.
Yeah.
I started writing this fat phobia one about
the
diet.
Grapefruit quarter, not what I ordered. Yeah, there's been a lot in the works for a long time, and Amanda's been really awesome at holding space for Muggle Snuggle while I lived in this pregnancy, having a baby, the world shut down, trying to figure out how to make music, and then coming back together. So there's been a lot that you've held. You have basically 2 albums. Tons of things started.
4.
Okay, 4 albums. Amanda has 45 albums.
I started writing stuff for the last one that we're doing. We know what we're doing now.
So I do need to preface with, years ago, we were driving to Philadelphia for a performance, and we had such a long time in the car that we came up what all of our albums would be in order. We came up with each concept for the album years ago. So we've had years to sit on 7 albums of idea and
Yeah.
of content. And so
Yeah, so now we have all of our like finished songs in a list, and then we have our in the works songs, and then some I put like italics because they're semi done.
Yeah.
We just need this and that.
Mhm.
And we have all of those coming, and that's kind of why I had to break off and do Mermanda
Yeah,
stuff, because I just kept doing too much Muggle Snuggle. 'cause-
if it's fun, I say go for it. But I think it was sad that I wasn't able to be there with you, and so you needed more outlets, and so you started creating even more amazing work.
No, it makes total sense. Amanda was making more music for you to sing. You were making another bandmate. I mean, you were both very busy on Muggle Snuggle projects.
Oh, we did have our first rehearsal all together. Sita was like enchanted with your accordion.
Yeah.
And she has little baby accordions that she plays.
Yeah, she was really into it. She was trying to figure out which percussion would go best with the songs. Like I could see in her head. She's like,
she's
"How do
trying
I
to
do
figure
this?"
it out. Yeah.
Yeah, we did have like our first getting back together as a band, and we made sure that Sita was in it. It was
Yeah,
great.
it was a good moment.
She also has her own Muggle Snuggle t-shirt.
She does. She has her first band merch since we started screen printing this summer, because we're like, let's start doing this.
Yeah, and she has her own band too with her cousin. So.
Oh. If you could call 2 1-year-olds smacking together any instrument they could find.
So I don't know, maybe in our future also we'll have manager and producer of Child Wizard Rock.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Speaking of, we
Next
also wanted to
generation.
do a Halloween kids album.
Oh,
So that's a thing that we'd love to do someday. I don't know if we'll get to it now.
Not this year.
Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows?
We gotta have it ready for when Sita's like singing and talking.
Yeah. Right now she's just cars and
Kitty.
Kitty. Eventually she'll have more of a repertoire for our music.
So I've lost the thread a little bit. What is it you're working on at the moment?
What are we working
Oh.
on? What aren't we working on?
Well, I mean, we're still doing the Couplets of Fire.
Mhm.
That's coming up. And then we'll probably have a part 2 for that. And then someday, Halloween. And then also our 5th, no, I guess it'll be the 6th by then. Full length.
So we have several albums on the way that are sitting in wonderful computers that are just waiting to be released.
Yeah.
And Amanda, you've been doing your International Creatures album and the Birdie Bots Every Flavored Jam. Are you doing more Mermanda? I think you said there's going to be a second Creatures.
Yeah, I haven't done much on the mermaids for that part, but I've been doing research on I'm on land creatures now. There's some wild stuff that you come across. You know, things that have more of a cultural influence than you would have expected. So there's sometimes like a really fine line between really infringing upon somebody's actual beliefs now, and, you know, there are like weird things that happened in history that like really influenced, I don't know, how people, like what they're not allowed to say.
There's been much research.
There's much research. Yes. Yeah, so there's a lot of research still happening for that one. And then the last one I'm going to be doing is the air creatures. So I don't know, I kind of got to like a point where I got a little bit stuck, but then we also had to rehearse for our one concert this year. So
Hey, we got a concert in. That was
Yeah.
exciting.
So I wanted to take a break with like, you know, putting too much pressure on myself to create, but they're still in the works. And I also write music for the King Killer Chronicle books, and I have so many things that are also in the works for that. And there's a 15-minute song I still need to write, and I only have about 3 minutes written of that.
You know, give yourself time. So yes, working on everything.
Yeah.
Now, where exactly is the line drawn between mythic creatures and cryptids? Because I've been very disappointed in the lack of Florida swamp ape representation in popular culture.
Oh, please recommend what you'd like me to include, and I will put it in, because I mean, I'm kind of up for anything.
For our final music break, how about My Wand Has Broken by Jeff and Maya Bonhoff?
My wand has broken and soot is raining. Guess I misspoken some magic word. Hand me that Kleenex or I'll be explaining why Dumbledore's phoenix is now a blackbird. Softly your feather floats toward the ceiling. Poof goes my pinion and plummets to ground. My Leviosa gives flight a new meaning. Professor Flitwick may never come down. Mine is a bad one. I wish I could lose it. Born of a bad tree in a bad wood. No, please, Professor, don't ask me to use it. My spells don't ever turn out as they should. My wand is broken and should be retired, but I swear I've spoken no magic phrase. All that I said was Snape should be fired. Oof went the prof and set Hogwarts ablaze.
This is the Metamorphagus song. I wrote it to show you who we are is never wrong. I'm a fan of the Phantom. This is our memorandum. We are the ones who belong. There's no space for hate in the undertaking. Take it from a magic nonconformer. You're fired, you're out. It's our series now. We are the ones who belong. The world is wrong about so many things. We've got Voldemort to fight, so you can take a seat. We're up to no good. We'll be who you should have been. This is the Metamorphagus song. I sing it to show you who we are is never wrong. I'm a fan of the Phantom. This is our memorandum. We are the ones who belong. We're trans and we're queer. Our place is here. We are the ones who belong.
And wise, but if you land on Azkaban, you'll find they're telling lies. The is all the life of folk of every rank and station, but not a single person from the righteous Goblin Bay. As you sit there sorrowing, bereft of every pleasure, goblins will be borrowing the best of all your treasure. We'll keep take hold of all the gold and stars the aura catches. So let's head back to Gringotts now, battling on the hatches. Look alive, you sailor folks, hoist to main and mizzen. Let's head back to London town and speed on past this prison. Sailing across Baskerville, goblins never go there, because as we have said before, trade is much too slow there. Hey ho, on we go. 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 Hey ho, on we go.
I can't believe he's asked me. I don't know what to wear. Should I dress for mourning or should I dress to scare? No one else is going. No one else I know. Will I be the only one to go? It's so cool to be here. I can't believe my eyes. Was I meant to bring a gift or some sort of surprise? This music's pretty creepy. Kinda hurts my ears and the cake's up. And where the hell's my beer? It's a weird occasion, but I'll give it a chance. And I'll stay for one more dance. Just came to say congratulations, 500 years dead today. Should that be commiseration? Sorry your head turned out that way. Dead today, 500 years dead today. Dead today, 500 years dead today. Disco in a dungeon, in the candlelight. How long will I have to stay? Will it take all night? No one really told me that I should eat before. Now I'm hungry and my feet are getting sore. So I'll go. Thanks so much for inviting me. I'll tell everyone how frightening you can be. Just came to say congratulations, 500 years dead today. Should that be commiseration? Sorry your head turned out that way. Dead today, 500 years dead today. 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 Just came to say congratulations, 500 years dead today. Should that be commiseration? Sorry your head turned out that way. Dead today, 500 years dead today. 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 Dead today.
That was Jeff and Maya Bonoff with My Wand Has Broken. Anna Dardick with the Metamorph Magus song. The Gringotts Girls singing Sailing on Past Azkaban. And the Dolly Shakes partying with This Party Is So Dead. Here's the last bit of the conversation with Muggle Snuggle. Well, thank you so much for talking with me today. This has been incredible and easily going to be my longest episode yet because I don't know what I'm going to cut. It's all been fun.
Thanks for having us. I was very delighted to be on this podcast because I love it.
Y'all are truly amazing. Where can WZRD radio listeners find you all, both as Muggle Snuggle and Mermanda?
Yeah, Bandcamp for both. Muggle Snuggle has YouTube stuff. We haven't updated that for a very long time. We're on Twitter as well, but mostly for likes and retweets and
Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah,
I would
mostly
say.
Instagram. Yeah, I mean, it's mostly all just under Muggle Snuggle of some form of that.
Mermanda Music's there
Yeah.
on Instagram as well.
Yep, Mermanda, and then I also have my old stuff that I did under first person singular.
Oh, that's good stuff. I'm
Thank
going to
you.
say deep cuts. You need to go, you need to, some origin story. If you want to know where Muggle Snuggle started, listen to First Person Singular.
Thank you.
That Yellow album, right?
Yellow.
I don't know the name. I just know it was Yellow album art.
This may not be punk rock, but I sure as hell am. That
There
one.
it is, yeah.
Congratulations to Susanna, the first person to guess episode 36's theme of The Slither Spouse's Faves. I know it was super tough, so extra kudos on your cleverness. Do you love WZRD Radio and want to support it? The Patreon at patreon.com/WZRD Radio Pod, which gets you everything from early access to the ability to choose which songs I play. It also supports the Yes All Witches grant, which gives micro-grants to queer and BIPOC Wizard Rockers. And don't forget to support our Wizard Rockers. You can find links to the songs you heard today in the transcript at wzrdradiopod.com. Click one and buy it so our Wizard Rockers know you love their work. Without them, we wouldn't be here. If you've got a minute, drop by social media and say hi. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at WZRD Radio Pod, talking about fandom and, well, Wizard Rock mostly. If you're not a social media magician, or it's all down again, you can leave a comment on the transcript or email me at wzrdradiopod@gmail.com. And apparently reviews are good for a podcast, so feel free to leave some words about the show on Apple Podcasts or Facebook. Ideally positive ones, but just speak your truth. And now, here's Muggle Snuggle.
We're gonna play a song, "The Modest Witch." We had the lyrics that were from Fantastic Beasts,
Mhm.
and then we added on to
added,
it.
yeah.
And actually, this was Caitlin's first song that she actually like picked the chords. She made this on
On the accordion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was very into,
Yeah, she made the chords, and then I was like, I got some lyrics for that.
My mama, your mama, gonna catch a witch. My mama, your mama, flying on a switch. My mama, your mama, witches never cry. My mama, your mama, witch is gonna die. Oh, my mama, your mama, gonna catch a witch. My mama, your mama, flying on a switch. My mama, your mama, witches never cry. My mama, your mama, witch is gonna die. Oh, witch number 1, drown in a river. Witch number 2, got a noose to give her. Witch number 3, gonna watch her burn. Witch number 4, flogging take a turn. Oh, my mama, your mama, gonna catch a witch. My mama, your mama, flying on a switch. My mama, your mama, witches never cry. My mama, your mama, witch is gonna die. Oh, witch number 5, she pricked you with a pin. Witch number 6, a trial you can win. Oh, witch number 7, gonna have a fit. Witch number 8, circle round a little bit. My mama, your mama, gonna catch a witch. My mama, your mama, flying on a switch. My mama, your mama, witches never cry. My mama, your mama, witch is gonna die. Oh, my mama, your mama, gonna catch a witch. My mama, your mama, flying on a switch. My mama, your mama, witches never cry. My mama, your mama, witch is gonna die. Oh, my mama, your mama, gonna catch a witch. My
Which is gonna die? Which is gonna die? Which is gonna die?